Wow, I want to say good evening to everybody. It's a great time again to share some professional uh, things with my audience out there. My name again is Olakanmi. This is my SME webinar series. It will be two parts. Okay. In the first part, I will focus on productivity. In the second part, I will focus on performance management, how performance management influences productivity. So the topic for today will be increasing employee productivity through effective performance management strategies. Again, increasing employee productivity through effective performance management strategies. Join me as we go on a jolly ride. Very quickly, a little bit about me for those who may be wondering who is presenting today. My name is Olakanmi. I'm the MD CEO of OMP Consult. My history is as such, I was before, I went into consulting, the group HR director for Troika Holdings, one of the largest marketing communications outfit in West Africa. Before then, I was a personnel consultant with International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, where I became the compensation officer of the entire institute, and I was exposed to, global international HR practices, including even the United Nations. I'm also a well-rounded HR, um, human resource practitioner in both the public and private sector. I will say that I also have some experience in about 5 years plus experience in the civil service in Oyo State. Presently undergoing my doctorate, in business administration from the prestigious Walden University in the USA. I have a master's in personal psychology, a BSc in geography, and an alumni of the prestigious Lagos Business School where I did my SMP program, and also the Daystar Leadership Academy where I obtained my advanced, DLA, and also, an alumni of Cranfield University UK where I did my leadership competency studies. Professionally, in HR practice, I've also, risen to the ranks as a chairman of the CIPM chapter for 2 years, 2018 to 2020, vice chairman between 2016 and 2017. And I've been on the board of some of the topmost committee in CIPM in Nigeria, Japanese Personnel in Nigeria. For instance, I was a member 2014-2016 of the CIPM Professional Conduct and Ethics Committee, one of the high-ranking committees of CIPM in Nigeria. Presently, I'm the Secretary of Board of Fellows of the Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, where I'm also a fellow. I, also sat on the executive board of the Association of Advertising Agents of Nigeria for quite some years. I was also the former Assistant Secretary General of the Lagos State NUJ. And so, I crisscross, a lot of things, in none of many parts. Thank God for the opportunity. I am an on-air personality, a social commentator, and reconstructionist, and a life and love coach. A reverend gentleman, I mentor a lot of students, professionals, and all that, both in non-for-profit and for-profit organizations across the income sector. So thank you for having this section. So let's go into the meat of the story. The first thing I want us to look at, as I consider the issue of productivity in SMEs, as affected by performance management strategies. This is very, very appropriate for a time like this, when post-COVID. Okay, it seems everything has been burnt down. Look at the picture I'm showing here. It's like a burnt forest. If this was a forest, where the business is about logging, producing wood, for the furniture factory and all that. Okay, this is almost even a business run aground because of this wildfire. The wildfire even is similar to what has happened in the pandemic. Okay, that we recently went through and currently going through in some countries. Okay, so how will the managers of this business manage even the performance of all the workers on this field, not only to salvage what even remains of the field, but also to resuscitate and to rejuvenate even the forest, so that it gives to create and produce wood even for the industry again. That's what performance management is all about. Okay, and particularly in this post-COVID era, or I would say, this trans-COVID era, not only post-COVID, because it's still going on. Okay, so how will managers, how will professionals and practitioners, okay, manage performance so that, look, this field can become sustainable into the future, not only survive in the present. And that's what we're going to look at. I said in the first series, we look at productivity itself, and the second series, which you can join me later, we'll look at not only productivity alone, but performance management and how we relate the two together. So let's look at productivity. What's it all about? As I've said, the objectives here will be we will understand productivity in this part one. Okay, then in part two, we'll look at obtaining some insight on performance management for SME, small, medium scale enterprise. Then we will I try to identify general strategies of performance management for improving productivity, and we will look also at a specific model, okay, for performance management, as it relates to productivity. So here today we will look particularly at productivity. Come along with me. Productivity, according to dictionary meaning, is the quality or the state of being productive. This looks pedestrian, but yet let us go with this for for time being. All right. What does it mean when we talk about the quality of being productive? It talks about the potential, the ability to produce. Okay. Okay. So when something has the ability to produce, you said the dictionary said you can refer to it as productivity. Then what does it mean? When the dictionary refers to the state of being productive, the state is now the proof, not just the quality. You may have the potential, but not have the proof. But where you now have the proof to show that you are producing, that your potential is actual now, that's when it's a state. And it is what guarantees even business sustainability, business profitability in the future. Okay, and that's the state of productivity. Let's go on. However, there are some technical definitions used by professionals and practitioners of HR and business on the field. Okay, when we look at productivity, it's not just an ability to produce, the quality, or the state of product, to produce. It's not only that. No. So professionals will agree with me. Various schools, agree that there are two critical things, you must consider before you can refer to a business as being productive, or productivity in the business. Now, the first, is effectiveness, while the second is efficiency. I said the first is effectiveness, while the second is efficiency. Effectiveness, has to do with the ability of the enterprise even to produce even goods or services even in line with the objective of the business. Okay, so that can satisfy the production definition of the dictionary. But beyond that, okay, is the ability of the enterprise, or the team, the function, the organization or the individual, to be efficient. So efficiency is, however, resource related. Okay, all the resources of an organization, if they are maximized or they are optimized, even in order to get effectiveness, then the business is efficient. Okay, so efficiency and effectiveness even shows productivity, and this is very, very critical. We must understand. A business may be effective but not efficient, and so productivity is compromised in that particular situation. So let us go on and look at the next one. Likewise, when we look at productivity as an applied business concept, okay, it is defined as the rate of output per the rate of units you introduce, and this is where efficiency is all about. Okay, the rate of output, the rate of how effective you are relative to the rate of the inputs that you use, and that's why I said efficiency is related to resources deployed. Okay, we want to look at the rate of units, okay, are produced when you relate outputs to input. And so, for instance, you can also look at productivity in the nation. Okay, where productivity in the nation, where you look at the GDP of the economy. What is the population of the workforce in the nation relative to how much even revenue the workforce is producing? Okay, that will show per head how much revenue is produced by each person in the workforce. So also in the workplace, as an SME, you have maybe 100 people, and you are your annual returns is 1 million naira. So 1 million by 100 people shows the amount of return per head. And this is your productivity. This is how productive you are. That is the basis by which you can compare company to company, how they stand shoulder to shoulder in terms of profitability, in terms of competitiveness, and in terms also of sustainability in the future. Okay, it is based on this efficiency ratio that you can plan to expand business. You can plan even to reward your staff. You can plan several other things to give dividends to shareholders and several other things. So I'm saying productivity, when it's seen as an applied business concept, okay, focusing on efficiency and effectiveness, determines your true riches and or poverty. It determines how competitive you are. Let us look at this. I must say that there are three major types of productivity discussed by professionals. The first is the managerial productivity, which relates even to the realm of HR. Managerial productivity relates to people, manpower, okay, issues, and this is where HR really takes the pride of place. Likewise, you can look at productivity in terms of technology. Okay, is it an innovative technology that can help, reduce input but increase output? Okay, technology. This is where even the modernization of the business, okay, is very, very important. Okay, all right. So we look at productivity also in terms of technology. The last looks at productivity in terms of financial. This is the capital consideration, machinery consideration of the return on investment. Okay, so you have an installed capacity that a machine can produce. Okay, is if, for instance, the machine, however, is tuned better and it can produce even maximally its installed capacity while reducing the input, then productivity is enhanced. However, if no matter how you retune the machine, it cannot produce even better in terms of quality or quantity or quality, and yet it is requiring more input, okay, to produce even that limited output, then it is not productive. So we said, three types of productivity: managerial, which is the pursuit, which is the remit of the HR people; technology, which is the remit of the R&D, okay, and the financial, which is remit of of people managing the capital assets and all that, the finance department. Okay, so these three are critical: the HR people, the R&D, the research and development, people, and the people in finance. They are very critical to determining the productivity of an organization. Okay, but in a time like this, when we have pandemic, okay, we must first of all drill down what is the focal point for productivity at a time like this. You will find that out by determining what is the real problem we have at a time like this. Is it a financial problem? Is it a technological problem? Or is it a people-related problem? We'll see that basically it's much more of a people-related problem because it's health-related. Okay, people not able to come to work. Okay, people who are kept away because of health and things like that, social distancing. So it is primarily a people problem. And this is why we must focus on this very well. And HR people must take the pride of place, even at the time like this, so that they will not lose relevance. If HR people loses the opportunity, even to provide solution to productivity through performance management at a time like this, they will lose relevance. We must not forget that in the 80s, there was an opportunity for HR, and which introduced HR people, HR directors of those days, even into the C-suite, like the Omolayole, like the Christopher Collar days and all that. Okay, like the Amoo-Onidundu, they became renowned managers. Some of them rose to become even CEOs and executives, chief executives of the organization. And what was the problem then? It was also a people-related problem. It was the indigenization decree introduced by the government of the day then. So, there was a need for locals to take even the top positions, either to occupy even by foreigners. But what happened? Okay, when that decree happened, vacuum was left. So the HR people, were the we are the people that the organization will fall back on to produce even capable hands to succeed and take the organizations forward. If they had lost out of that opportunity, we wouldn't have had those renowned names that I mentioned earlier. So the HR directors became even the bride of the companies and the nations and the blue chip companies and the SMEs of those times. So what I'm saying here basically is that we have an opportunity again for HR to take the bride of place and to lead the companies out of the wood, of the pandemic that we are in. So this is a great opportunity. So I'm saying here, the managerial productivity is of essence and is in the eye of the storm. Okay, even much more than technological. Even though it can't stand alone, it combines with technological. That's why also the virtual learning and the virtual platform and, and the virtual work of place is also the in thing now, which must be capitalized upon even by the people managing the managerial productivity, which is basically the HR remit. All right, quickly, let me just talk a little bit about the components of productivity. Okay, Penny, in our book, talked about the components of productivity as number one, the purpose, number two, the language, number three, the focus, and number four, the physiology. Okay, the purpose. Okay, if the workers will be very, very productive, the purpose must be clear. The objective of the business must be clear. What we are all about must be clear. And at a post-pandemic period or a trans-pandemic period like this, the purpose must be redefined. The strategy must be reevaluated, okay, and communicated widely to people, okay. So the purpose, will if it's not clear, all right, that's when drop balls will happen a lot, in terms of productivity. So likewise, language talks about not only the communication, but the entire culture. Okay, the entire culture, the leadership style and all that influences even productivity a lot. Okay, it might be organizational wide, it might be individual wise. Okay, because people are in different degrees of understanding in the organization. The language must be simple and be clear. Okay, the administrative style, okay, must be simple and clear. It's a lot of things must be codified and written down for people to know what is expected of them. Okay. All right, and the language and purpose are related. Under purpose also, you must clearly define each person's job description and how it relates to the overall purpose and objective of the business. This is very, very important. Okay, so the language of writing that also must be clear. All right, so the language, however, focuses on issues of culture, issues of value system. Your value will determine how you want to go about even your productivity. This is very, very important. All right, so likewise, the focus is where we are going. The focus must be made clear. The focus in terms of your KPIs, in terms of the metrics, in terms of breaking down the performance standards. Okay, it must be clear so that people will understand exactly what they are to achieve. Likewise, focus also has to do with, a clearly delineating, specialization, okay, division of labor. Okay, so people know what exactly I am to do, and there are not clash of job roles. Okay, they are not clash of job roles. This must be clarified. That's what the focus is all about. Okay, where there are clash of job roles, you find out there will be conflicts, unnecessary conflict, time wasting, resource wasting. Okay, and unnecessary bottleneck, and so productivity will be hindered. Right, this is very, very important. Okay, the physiology aspect has to do with the atmospherics. What we call the atmospherics. Okay, the things that make it comfortable, for people to work at their maximum and their optimal capacity. Okay, it talks about the ergonomics. For instance, the sitting arrangement, the workplace arrangement, the job design, the workplace design. This is all about physiology. Okay, all this can help either slow down productivity or hasten productivity. All right, so we must take note of this. We must take note of this. This is very, very important. All right, let me just talk a little bit about some practical strategies to productivity. Okay, even before talking about how to relate it to performance management, which we'll do later. Basically, you must be a supervisor, a practitioner, a business owner, an SME functionary that manages time very well. good time management of task. Don't just let times go unwieldy. It consumes resources, people time, energy, and all and money. It consumes resources. So manage time very well. Likewise, related to this is set, clear deadlines and let it be known to everyone, so that people are self-accountable also, particularly in this trans-COVID time when a lot of work is virtual working. Okay, so clarify clearly, okay, in terms of focus and in terms of the job purpose and the JD, the KPIs, what they are to do. Okay, so that people are self-driven towards deadlines also. It is also advised by experts that workers take regular breaks for renewal of their mind, for improved concentration. Okay, burnout happen when you lock up people and they work for continuously 5-6 hours without rest. Okay, so it's more of injury into productivity. All right. Then the 2 minutes rule is explained by experts to mean that, look, whatever you can do quickly, quickly finish that first. It motivates the mind even onto things that requires longer time and all that. What you can do, for instance, 2 minutes, quickly crush that out and move on to things that require much more time. So it motivates you. Winning the small wins motivates you. Likewise, please, meetings are in most cases time wasters. Physical meetings, okay, where meetings are critical and compulsory. Okay, use standing options of meetings. If it's physical meetings, and if it's not physical meetings, alternatively use virtual alternatives. You will find that because we consider the issue of data, because the virtual meetings are better managed in terms of time. All right, so but curtail unnecessary meetings. Okay, avoid multitasking. It is a fallacy that you can multitask on job and still improve productivity. Okay, multitasking focuses in your attention and your strength and your energy. Okay, so instead of multitasking, clearly delineate jobs so people know what is their specialization and they pursue it. Okay, and they do the handshaking perfectly. Help people to be focused on their job and to do it to time and to deadline. This is very important. Okay. Likewise, if it is jobs like sales and all that has to do with commuting, okay, plan your trips properly so that several people in the sales and marketing team can pull carpool ride. Okay, so that it's not just that the driver comes back to the office before he takes others and all that. No, carpool ride. Okay, manage your trips properly. Okay, so you can do several things just on one ride. All right, you will be saving the drivers, energy. You'll be saving company resources. You'll be maximizing several things at that time. Okay, and likewise, please exercise breaks. Nature breaks. In most SMEs, we say, look, there is a 1 hour break, but do we really observe it? Do we really comply with it? Okay, we think, look, it's a time waster and all that. So we want to make use of even our staff during the break. We are doing ourselves because they won't come back fresh. They won't come back fresh to work. So please exercise breaks too. Exercise breaks, and also is a labor issue also. Don't forget, so that, you are not caught in labor frenzies. Okay. Likewise, I want to say, look, SME owners, practitioners, HR, professionals, be proactive and not reactive. At a time like this, do scenario analysis of several options, that you can leverage upon and at a time like this. Okay, and also let your employees pitch in. Okay, at such strategy, reviews to give you ideas of things you can do proactively. All right, it can cost you less as you do this. Be proactive, and be flexible also. Not only proactive, be flexible so that you can quickly adapt, and change. I'm not saying adjust, adapt. Adjustment, there's an extent to which you can adjust and the screw will break and you can't adjust anymore. But adapt, be flexible, change as things go on, but be proactive, okay? Like I say, some things that are time wasters and create a lot of pressure upon you, on you is the social media. Turn off such notifications. Turn off notifications of social media. All right, they are time wasters. Okay, the office also is not a place where you entertain social visits. And this kind of discipline must also be carried to office at home in this times of virtual working. All right, people should be schooled how to minimize even distractions. Experts also say that, look, work in 90 minutes, maximum one and a half hour interval, okay, and take rest. Beyond that, you may have burnout. So and you may not come with fresh eyes, to look at your job. All right. So these are some of the things. And in terms of the atmospherics that I mentioned earlier on, allow people to put in their workspace inspiring and aesthetically enhanced pictures, environment and all that. It stimulates creativity. It stimulates even the mind, and motivates the arts even to more job. This is much more even important now, even for people, where you set up home office for them, virtual office for them, and all that. Allow them, things that inspire them. For those of our children, for those of our spouses, it can inspire them. This is a good, it's a good thing. But even if it's in the physical brick and mortar office, allow them to create a semblance of an environment of their own, okay, that inspires them. Likewise, I've mentioned this earlier on, but it is worth mentioning again. Minimize interruptions, minimize distractions. These are some of the practical strategies for productivity that I will speak to today. But I will end with this today. There is good productivity, there is bad productivity. And productivity does not necessarily mean production. Okay? The US Bureau of Labor Statistics explains good productivity as different from bad productivity as this. Whenever output increases without necessarily increasing input, it is good productivity. That means when you need to improve output, you have to input in a correlate amount the input, it is bad productivity. So if productivity is to be timed to be good, output will increase beyond the amount of inputs you need to generate that output. That's what he's saying here. Another way in which you can have good productivity is where even if output remains the same, but the inputs you need to generate that same output is reducing through innovation, through your R&D, through technology, through because also people you have sent to training, on courses, because now they know better, they can do it better. Their skill and competency level have improved. They are still the same kind of people, but now their output level have improved. Okay, all right. Then that is good productivity. All right. And I'm rounding off this session by saying productivity is not production. Production is just generally that you are bringing out that's dictionary meaning. You are just producing. Okay, it's not necessarily that the output, okay, is qualitative or is produced based on a reduced input. Don't forget, we said relationship of outputs to inputs that you use to generate that output is productivity. So, but production is just that you are producing. We don't know, how much it is costing you to produce, whether you are running at a loss or you are running at a profit. SMEs, you are not just to produce, you are to focus on productivity, where your focus is that your output is going up, your input is coming down, or at least your input, okay, is not growing at the rate at which your output is growing. So my colleagues, my friends, fellow SME, operators, I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been a great occasion. I hope to see you, in the next session, with Olakanmi Amoo-Onidundu. We can discuss also business issues. I want to say thank you for being with me today. Bye for now. Bye for now, and bye.